Hello, it is Thursday, July 2nd, and this is what I have made over the past, I think it's been 8 days. I think I did my last update on Wednesday or maybe Saturday. I don't remember. However long it's been, this is what I've made. Now, I've mentioned a couple times in previous videos that I was thinking of going back and doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on all the inner booklets in all my travel journals. And I decided yes to do that. And I finished that this week. So there are fewer books than there otherwise would be. And I still haven't done the Coptic stitch binding one that I've had set aside for 2 weeks now or 3 weeks now. But I will eventually get around to it. Prayerfully, it'll be in the next video. So I think this is the most recent one I finished. And this is just a pamphlet that I finished. So 3 travel journals and a pamphlet. And going through and starting to use all the new file folder, leather treated file folders that I did. I did almost all of the ones that were red, green, yellow, or orange, or any colors like that. I think I have a few red and a few yellow left that I haven't treated, and a lot of blue that I haven't treated. But I treated a whole stack of them, so I'm undecided whether or not I'm going to do many more of the travel journals. I counted the ones that I had already done as I was going through and restitching them, and I had 25 in one box, and I think I have 14 in the next box. So I think I'm going to do 50 total of those, and then try to switch focus to doing more of the Coptic stitch binding, because those will have more pages, and they'll be more sturdy, more durable, and they'll have better value. I've also gone through and added a pin and to all the ones that had a pin holder, which is all of them. So I've added a pin to all the travel journals as well. So just trying to, create value, because they only have 120 sheets and they're lengthwise. And I personally do not like this format, but they're so easy to make. So I can just keep knocking them out, and it's easier to decorate the covers and whatnot. So actually, let me start with this one. This is a pamphlet journal. It also has 60 sheets, and it is, of course, painted copper on the outside, and did not paint the inside. The inside is this really cool pinkish color from the treatment process, where I just let that color stay on the inside of a red folder that was stacked on top of another red folder while they were drying. All the paper in this is Hanshi paper, so it is very light. So this one definitely, the gel pen that it's coming with should be good, or ballpoint pens, because it's a very light paper. Do not use anything juicy on this paper, because it is very light. It does great it's meant for practicing brushstroke calligraphy, so it can handle light pressure with wet, but it will not handle heavy pressure with wet. So no fountain pens, no markers or anything like that. But brush, because there's not a lot of pressure on the page when you're using brushstroke calligraphy, and that's what the paper is designed for. So because Hanshi paper is so light and thin, I was able to stack keep it this thin and still have 60 sheets in there for use. And a writing board, of course, because I want to have writing board in all the things that I make, because I basically use a writing board anytime I'm writing on anything, except for, when I'm taking notes for something on paper that's normal paper and I'm just using a normal pen, then I don't necessarily use a writing board. But anytime I'm using my fountain pens or my juicy pens or markers or anything like that, I always use a writing board. I have a bunch that I bought and a bunch that I made, so that's easy to do. So that is the first one for this set. And then the 3 travel journals. These 2, I took, again, artwork that I had collaged and made a few years ago and integrated it into the covers. So I'll start from this side, and I'll just used a tie left over from a hoodie or something like that I harvested the string from. So inside is going to be red. And so this is the collage that I put on the back of this one. There's a whole bunch of different colors in there. So the pin holder is just basic neutral colors, very pale colors. And the inside is just red. There were places where the glue that I used to stick the 2 covers together was bleeding through. So I covered all of that with mushroom stickers. So you see a bunch of mushroom stickers over here, and just a couple mushroom stickers on underneath the folders, and one mushroom sticker over here. And it's decorative, and it also covers the places where the glue bled through. You can still see a little bit of it behind this one, but it's not enough to detract from the overall journal. So since I'm still trying to use up the black paper and still trying to use up the construction paper, I did not go out of my way, and since the cover has so many different colors on it, I did not go out of my way to emphasize any particular color in the pockets or anything like that. And I'm using up, I think this is the last of my notebook paper that's this way. And then I have a 500 sheet pack of graph paper that I think is, in fact, you'll see me transitioning from that to these in a couple of the others because I ran out of the notebook paper before I finish these three. So again, yarn binding. So it's the way it is the yarn goes through. This one, I did the yarn extra long. I don't know what happened, but I did the yarn extra long. So you got two wrapped through here, and then you have two more strings that are tied together so you can adjust the tightness and, just pull it together and then tie it to adjust the tightness if either when you're putting the paper in or taking the paper out. And same thing on this one. This one, again, you have two strings on the inside and then two strings that you could tie together on the outside. So that is the way I am going with until I run out of yarn, which will be never because I have a lot of string in this house. So this one is, like I said, it's a hoodie string or sweatpants or something. I don't remember what it came off of, but I doubled it to tie it because it is pretty long, but it also gives you a good option to, if you want to make this very, very fat, glue stuff in it instead of using it just for writing, then you have the option of the tie being able to grow with the journal itself. And that's my philosophy for pretty much all the ties that I did. This one is another one. I think this one came off a hoodie as well. And this one is actually crocheted thread. I think it's 4 or 5 strands of thread. So let's do this one next. And the pin holder on this one, oops, sorry about that. The pin holder on this one is green to just match the flowers and whatnot. It's not a very strong color in the design, but it's. I had a green one and I didn't want to make another one, so I used the green one that I already had. And this is the collage for this one. These are actually flowers from my either my house or my yard. These are myrtle. And these are 4-leaf clovers, and these are Christmas cactus flowers. And they're all pressed and sandwiched between layers of tissue paper to give them a flat texture. So they're not going to peel off. They're in between the layers of paper. And I just added that particular collage onto a file folder, a green file folder in this case, and then just sealed it in further with a washi tape around the edges and Mod Podge around the edges. And I really liked this. I really like this particular pattern. I considered keeping this one as well, but I'm already keeping a bunch of them. So this one will be on the table to sell because I have more Christmas cactus flowers and I could make another one anytime I want, really. So inside green folder, outside that. Again, you can see here where I was starting to run out of the notebook paper and starting to switch over to the graph paper. And I think the last of the notebook paper is in this one, and this one may be all graph paper. We'll see in a second. And this one, I was able to get a better read on how long the string needed to be. So you only got one string on the inside and 2 strings on the outside that you can tie together. And I tried to tie them together. I pulled them to the top so you could tie them together to the top, and so they would be less likely to dangle, depending on how you want to do it. So. And since I got some more antique Mod Podge, I have not had any trouble with them sticking together. Some of them, while I was going back and retying them, were sticky a little bit. So I just went ahead and hit them with another coat of antique Mod Podge. Now I was able to find matte Mod Podge. And as soon as I run out, I think I've got just a little bit left in this particular bottle of antique. As soon as I run out of that, I'm going to switch over to the matte and make sure it gives me the same effect, because the price on the antique Mod Podge just keeps going up and up and up. And I think they may not make it anymore. So all these stores are watching and see what people are willing to pay for it. And I am not willing to pay $20 for an 8-ounce cup. No, I am not. So prayerfully, the matte works. And then I will stop buying the antique altogether, because the matte is only $7 for 16 ounces instead of $12 or $20 for 8 ounces. When I saw the price went up to that, I was like, this is insane. I'm not buying any more of that. So this one, I did not do much changing on the color. This is I don't know if this was a yellow. I think this was a red folder. So I think this was the inside of a red folder that was stacked on top of an orange folder. I am not sure how I got this color, but I absolutely love it. So it may have been a yellow folder stacked on a red folder. I'm not sure. But in any case, I love it. So the inside is a red folder, but I colored it with the gold mica paint. So that is what's going on the inside. I did not put, the gold mica paint has texture to it. So I've not had any issues with the gold mica paint sticking. So I did not put a coat of antique on the inside of this one, but I did put a coat of antique on the outside of this one. So it should not stick. I'm going to go back through them all, even the ones that I tied and even the ones that I fixed. I'll probably go through them like maybe once a month, every so often after until we get to the actual craft fair in October, just to make sure they're not sticking. And any that are, I'll readdress. One of them I had to. I think I was able to fix it and still do it. One of the ones that I use I won't waste time talking about that because we are already at 10 minutes. So this is this one. No collage, no artwork. The color itself is the artwork because I just love how this color came out. And the inside is just the red with the gold mica paint as per usual. And here you see where I use the last of the notebook paper. I had enough to do every other sheet on this one. And in this one, it's all the graph paper. And one thing that's cool about that is the graph paper is a slightly lower weight than this notebook paper. So the individual pamphlets are a little skinnier than they otherwise would be, because that's one thing I have not really, I did not go through the process of putting any of these in compression. So they are kind of floppy, basically. And I don't know what that'll do to being able to write on them effectively, but they all do have writing boards. So prayerfully, that will not be an issue. And I'll get feedback from people after they buy them and use them as to what things they would like to change and what things would work better. And I may end up having to switch to all lighter weight paper for these. Oh, and I wanted to show I'm using, instead of construction paper, I decided to use up some of the mulberry paper, the pattern mulberry paper that I had for the pockets on the, oh no, I put this one in upside down. Hold on. Oh, now you get to see me take it out and put it back in. You don't necessarily need to untie it if you're using the same size. Okay, now this is the right side up. And again, more of the patterned mulberry paper for that. And you've got one that's going to be loose and one that's going to be tight. And the loose one that's not tied is the one that you put the paper in. I'm glad I caught that. So that one is now right side up, and this one is right side up. And I usually put the off-center one in first and then fold it over like this. It just works for me. Now for this one, I had to make a pin holder because I had absolutely nothing made that would come even close to matching this. So I made a new one using the accent tape, the accent washi tape that's on the inside of this. And it came out really, really nice. I don't like to use my regular wide tape for the accents. I could probably double this one, but I'll just wrap it around twice. I don't like to use the wide washi tape for making the pin holders because it uses it up fast, and I only have one roll of this. This is one that I think came in a set from Amazon, and I absolutely love it, but I have no idea how to find another batch of it. So when it's gone, it's gone. Because how can you search for this particular pattern on washi tape? And there is so much washi tape on Amazon. I am not going to look through 30 billion pages of 40 items each just to find this one pattern. I'll just because I don't really have any other paper that came out this color anyway. So I don't have a need to make another pin holder to match anything. I don't think I got this one because of the turquoise that's actually on it, more so than the salmon color. So that is this one, and that is all 4 of the things that I have made the preceding week. And again, this is July 2nd, 2026. And if anybody is interested in coming to the Arts and Crafts Fair where I will be selling these, October 16th, 17th, and 18th, Hill Country Retreat Annual Craft Fair, Alamo Ranch. And I think that should be enough information for you to be able to find the page, because the neighborhood is a gated neighborhood, but they're doing a special event to where they'll open the gates for this particular event. So if you live in San Antonio, check it out.